Glad you could join me today for Search the Scriptures. We are finishing up the book of Ruth today with study number 2. Only 2 studies in this tiny book of only 4 chapters, and we are going to do chapter 3 and 4 together today and answer 2 really simple questions. Number 1, how does the whole story show the Lord's loving kindness to those who trust Him? And 2, what example are we given in chapter 4 on matters affecting the rights of others? Well, let's look at Ruth chapter 3 and chapter number 4 together, beginning with chapter 3 and verse 1. One day, Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi, said to her, "My daughter, I must find a home for you, where you will be well provided for. Now Boaz, with whose women you have worked, is a relative of yours, and tonight he will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash, put on perfume, and get dressed in your best clothes. Then go down to the threshing floor, but don't let him know you are there until he's finished eating and drinking. When he lies down, note the place where he is lying, and then go and uncover his feet and lie down, and he will tell you what to do. And I will do whatever you say," Ruth answered. So she went down to the threshing floor and did everything that her mother-in-law told her to do. When Boaz had finished eating and drinking and was in good spirits, he went over to lie down at the far end of the grain pile. And Ruth approached quietly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. And in the middle of the night, something startled the man. And he turned, and there was a woman lying at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. "I'm your servant Ruth," she said. "Spread the corner of your garment over me, since you are a guardian redeemer of our family." Now you got to remember, he didn't have a light switch to flip on in the middle of the night to figure out who was laying down at his feet. No wonder he was startled. Maybe he's a little bit ticklish. Verse number 10. "The Lord bless you, my daughter," he replied. "This kindness is greater than that which you showed earlier. You've not run after the younger men, whether rich or poor. And now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I will do for you all that you ask. And all the people of my town know that you are a woman of noble character. Although it is true that I am a guardian redeemer of your family, there is another who is more closely related than I am. Stay here for the night, and in the morning, if he wants to do his duty as your guardian redeemer, good. Let him redeem you. But if he is not willing, as surely as the Lord lives, I will do it. So lie here until morning." So she lay at his feet until morning, but got up before anyone could be recognized. And he said, "No one must know that a woman came to the threshing floor." And he also said, "Bring me the shawl that you are wearing and hold it out." And when she did so, he poured into it 6 measures of barley and placed the bundle on her. And then he went back to town. And when Ruth came to her mother-in-law, Naomi asked, "How did it go, my daughter?" Then she told her everything Boaz had done for her and added, "He gave me these 6 measures of barley, saying, 'Don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed.'" Then Naomi said, "Wait, my daughter, until you find out what happened, for the man will not rest until the matter is settled today." Ruth chapter 4. Meanwhile, Boaz went up to the town gate, and he sat down there just as the guardian redeemer he had mentioned came along. And Boaz said, "Come here. Come here, my friend, and sit down." So he went over and he sat down. And Boaz took 10 of the elders of the town and said, "Sit here." And they did so. So they had a town meeting. And then he says to the guardian redeemer, "Naomi, who has come back from Moab, is selling the piece of land that belonged to our relative Elimelech," which, as you remember, is Naomi's husband that had passed away. "And I thought I should bring the matter to your attention and suggest that you buy it in the presence of these seated here and in the presence of the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, do so. But if you will not, tell me, so I will know. For no one has the right to do it except you, and I am next in line." "I will redeem it," he said. Then Boaz said, "On the day you buy the land from Naomi, you also acquire Ruth the Moabite, the dead man's widow, in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property." At this, the guardian redeemer said, "Well, then I can't redeem it, because I might endanger my own estate. And you redeem it yourself. I can't do it." Now, in earlier times in Israel, for the redemption and transfer of property to become final, to legalize it, one party took off his sandal and gave it to the other. And this was the method of legalizing transactions in Israel. So there was no notary public. You just took your shoe off and gave it to the other guy and walked home with one shoe off and one shoe on. Verse 8, so the guardian redeemer said to Boaz, buy it yourself, and removed his sandal. And then Boaz announced to the elders and all the people, today you are witnesses that I have bought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech, Kilion, and Mahlon. And I have also required Ruth the Moabite, Mahlon's widow, as my wife in order to maintain the name of the dead with his property, so that his name will not disappear from among his family or from his hometown. Today you are witnesses. Listen to what the elders say. Then the elders and all the people at the gate said, we are witnesses. May the Lord make the woman who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah, who together built up the family of Israel. And may you have standing in Ephrathah and be famous in Bethlehem. Through the offspring the Lord gives you by this young woman, may your family be like that of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah. So Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife. And when he made love to her, the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she gave birth to a son. And the women said to Naomi, praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a guardian redeemer. May he become famous throughout all Israel. He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age, for your daughter-in-law, who loves you and who is better to you than 7 sons, has given him birth. And then Naomi took the child in her arms and cared for him. The women living there said, Naomi has a son. And they named him Obed. He was the father of Jesse, the father of King David. This then is the family line of Perez. Perez was the father of Hezron. Hezron the father of Ram. Ram the father of Benadab. Benadab the father of Nahshon. Nahshon the father of Salmon. Salmon the father of Boaz. Boaz the father of Obed. Obed the father of Jesse. And Jesse the father of David. Question number 1. How does the story show the Lord's loving kindness to those who trust him? Well, Ruth, this foreigner, this Moabite woman, ends up becoming the great-grandmother of King David, an ancestress to the Messiah, who would make Naomi's hometown of Bethlehem world famous throughout the rest of history. And there is a tremendous beauty in the blessing of the elders in chapter 4, verse 11 through 12, when they really unknowingly prophesy of Ruth's greatness. They do so by including the names of 2 other previously unwanted wives, Leah and Tamar, who are also carriers of the seed of Christ. What a beautiful story. Question 2, what example are we given in chapter 4 on the matters affecting the rights of others? Well, we should never overstep someone else's rights or try to keep others in the dark in regards to the benefits that are due to them, even though it means a loss to us. Honesty truly is the best policy. Boaz was honest with the guy that was next in line. He didn't hold anything back, and God honored his honesty. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hope you enjoyed immensely the book of Ruth. God bless. Have a fantastic rest of your day.